Well, I think you could probably say that based on the fact we've had 2 home games in 2 weeks, the performance today was nothing like the performance from last week, and we were playing what was on paper, I suppose, a tougher opposition.
Yeah, I think it's been night and day. I think it springs to mind in terms of the performance today and the effort, really. I don't like saying that, but when you look at the effort and the work rate and the heart desire that we showed today, and you compare that to Belper last week, you can't say anything more than that. For me personally, I've been doing a little bit of soul searching the last couple of weeks. I don't usually doubt myself, but I started to have a little bit of doubt. Am I getting it right? I said that in previous weeks we were going to stay with a particular formation. I changed it today to kind of counteract what I thought that they would do, and I think it worked. But equally speaking, I can do all of those little bits, and there's nothing that I don't do week in, week out in terms of looking at the opposition, etc. But ultimately, as I always say, the staff, it's about us supporting the players, and ultimately the players have to go and do it. And to a man today, they're a credit to the football club, and I'm really proud of them. The whole group, whether you're starting 11 in the squad, not in the squad, I just thought it was a brilliant team effort, and I think it just shows what potential we do have. There's times where we've had to put bodies on the line, etc. But I just think we asked a little bit more of one another today. We asked a few more questions of each other in terms of taking responsibility, being accountable, etc. And when we do that, I think it shows in terms of performances on the pitch. I think there's at times we're too nice and we let things go, but we didn't do that today, and it just shows. And I've said before, no nice teams win things. You can be nice as pie off the pitch, but on the pitch you can't afford to be that as a collective. In terms of looking at the game, I thought we started okay. Just to touch on them, they're a good side. They've got some very good players, and the way in which they move the ball and they get in different pockets and they run off the back of people. They're impressive, and I do wish them all the best. And I think they're still, obviously, even with today's result, they're favourites if they can come through the next couple of away games. And going back to it, I thought we were good on the break. We had to sit in, we had to screen the ball into their strikers, and then when we did get the ball, we had to use it and be good with it. I spoke about this week of playing on 2 and 3 touch, and the more we do that, the more the better tempo. And I thought first half in particular, the tempo of the game was very high. It reminded me of a kind of a step 4 game as opposed to a step 5 game in terms of the level of quality, but equally the pace of the game. I think Lakes had to make a really good save from their lad Hawkridge. It was a good save. I think it was a dipping shot, great save. And after that, I thought kind of we contained them, and then Poku's come up with a great strike. Really, it's in his feet. I thought they were a little bit fortunate to get the rebound, but it was what it was. That just on the on half time can kill you. We regrouped at half time, and previously to that, I think we could have, it could have gone 2 or 3. That could have potentially happened if you look at in recent weeks. But we stayed in the game, great finish from Sam Bennett, the first one. And then I thought, to be fair, it was there for the taking. And to be fair, as the game went on, I just felt they became a little bit passive, and they kind of invited us in a little bit. And then obviously the second goal, I think it worked in terms of exactly what we were trying to do in the counter press, and again a great finish from Sam Bennett. Then there was a moment of 5 to 10 minutes of just defending for our lives, really. And then potentially a couple of opportunities we may have had to kind of counter them again. But afterwards, I kept the group out there, and I wanted them to enjoy that in the changing room. And I just said to them, like it just shows the level of potential, and football's hard work ultimately, but you've got to be able to bring that every week. So you can't just bring that because we're playing top of the league this week. You've got to bring it in the next 2 games, because let's be honest, they're 2 crucial games. I think you win the next 2, I think you can go, yeah, we'll be all right for next year. You lose the next 2, or you don't get any points. Again, you're looking down the throat, thinking what's going to happen moving forward. So I think, moving forward, I think it was really important for the supporters as well, and what a brilliant atmosphere afterwards as well. And that one also is for the supporters, because they turn out week in, week out in good numbers. We still want more numbers, but we need to produce more performances like that. We produce performances such as Boston and Belper, no one's going to come and watch us. But you put in performance in there, and I've always said, being at Wisbeach, you put the effort in, you show the heart, you show the desire, you'll always get full backing. You don't show that, that's when people start to get, and within the rights, a little bit miffed off, and everyone's entitled to their opinions. But just on that, been a few things, people saying I'm out of my depth. I don't think that. I think there's going to be bumps in the road, and there were 2 bumps, but I think we've also shown what we can do, and I'll just continue to work hard, as I continue to say, to get this football club where it needs to be. There's still lots of work to do. I'm well aware of that, but we need to keep growing. We need to keep developing, and really proud of the players today, but really chuffed for the supporters.